there's something that far too many people between the ages of 65 and 80 are still doing every single day, and the scary part is, they don't even realize how much harm it's causing. It's not just slowing down your health, it could actually be quietly cutting years off your life. The truth is, once you reach this stage of life, your body changes in ways that make certain habits far more dangerous than they ever were in your 40 seconds or 50 seconds. What once worked fine in your younger years could now be putting you at serious risk, and most people don't even notice it until the damage has already been done. That's why in this video, we're going to talk about 5 things you absolutely need to stop doing immediately if you're between 65 and 80. Think of this as your wake-up call, your opportunity to make the changes now, before they start taking a serious toll on your health, your energy, and even your independence. And here's the thing, the last one I'll share is something hardly anyone ever talks about, yet it's one of the most dangerous mistakes people in this age group are making right now. So stick with me until the very end. Before we jump in, if you haven't already, make sure to hit the subscribe button and turn on the notification bell so you never miss a new video. I post content designed to help you live stronger, longer, and healthier, and I'd love your feedback if you find value in this video. Type 1 in the comments. If not, type 0, so I know how to keep improving and making better content for you. Alright, let's get started. Mistake shown: sitting for long periods without movement. One of the worst things you can do for your body after the age of 65 is spending hours sitting. I know what many people are thinking, but I go for a walk every day, so I'm staying active, right? Unfortunately, that's not enough. Even if you exercise, long stretches of sitting can still increase your risk of heart disease, muscle loss, and poor circulation. Studies have shown again and again that prolonged sitting slows down your metabolism, weakens the legs and core, and puts extra stress on your joints. Over time, this leads to reduced mobility, chronic pain, and even a much higher risk of falling. Think about it, have you ever stood up after sitting for a while and felt stiffness in your knees, tightness in your back, or even a little dizziness? That's your body's way of telling you it's not getting the movement it needs. When you sit for too long, blood flow slows down, muscles tighten, and joints stiffen up. On top of that, the risks go far beyond aches and pains. Prolonged sitting has been linked to weight gain, blood clots, and even cognitive decline. Take George, for example. He's 72 years old and always believed that taking his daily 30-minute walk was enough to keep him healthy. But over the years, he noticed his legs felt weaker and his back pain was getting worse. His doctor finally explained that his problem wasn't exercise, it was the fact that he sat for hours without moving in between. George started setting a simple timer to remind himself to stand up every 30 to 45 minutes. He would roll his shoulders, stretch his legs, or walk around the house. Within just a few weeks, he noticed less stiffness, more energy, and better circulation. Here's a quick test you can try right now. If you've been sitting for more than an hour, pause this video and stand up. Roll your shoulders. Stretch your legs. Take a few steps around the room. Notice the difference you feel instantly? That's proof your body needs more frequent movement throughout the day. The key isn't just exercising once, it's staying consistently active. Small changes, like standing up, stretching, or simply shifting positions every 30 minutes, can have a huge impact on how your body feels and functions. Mistake #2: ignoring protein intake and losing muscle mass. Another massive mistake people over 60 make is not getting enough protein in their diet. And here's the danger, it's not just about food. It's about protecting your strength, your independence, and your ability to keep doing the things you love. As you get older, one of the most overlooked changes in your body has to do with how it handles protein. The reality is this: once you pass your 60 seconds, your body doesn't process protein as efficiently as it used to. That means you actually need more protein, not less, in order to maintain your muscle mass. If you're not paying attention to this, you could be losing muscle without even realizing it. And here's the truth: muscle loss, also known as sarcopenia, is one of the biggest threats to your independence as you age. It doesn't happen overnight. It creeps in slowly. Most people don't notice until everyday tasks, standing up from a chair, carrying grocery bags, climbing stairs, suddenly start to feel harder than they used to. The scary part is that once muscle is gone, it's much harder to rebuild. And when your muscles weaken, so does your balance, which means your risk of falling and suffering serious injuries goes way up. Take Richard, for example. He's 68, and for years he thought he was eating well, but over time, he noticed his legs getting weaker, his arms looking thinner, and his energy levels dropping. His doctor explained that his diet simply wasn't providing enough protein to support his muscles. So Richard made some changes, adding more lean meats, eggs, beans, nuts, and protein-rich dairy into his meals. Within just a few weeks, he started feeling stronger, more energized, and more stable on his feet. Here's something you can try right now. Sit in a chair and see if you can stand up without using your hands. If that feels difficult, or if you feel unsteady, that's your body's way of signaling that your muscles are weakening. The fix? You need more protein in your diet, paired with regular strength training, to keep your muscles working for you, not against you. If you're still eating the way you did in your 60 seconds, it's time to rethink your nutrition. More protein isn't just a smart choice, it's absolutely essential for staying strong, mobile, and independent. And if you're finding these insights valuable, let me know you're still with me. Type the number 2 down in the comments, so I know you're here. Now let's move on. Mistake #3, neglecting sleep and disrupting your body's repair process. A lot of people assume that needing less sleep is simply part of aging, but that's actually one of the biggest myths out there. The truth is, your body still needs deep, quality sleep, just as much as it did when you were younger. Sleep is about more than just resting. It's the foundation for memory, muscle recovery, heart health, and even immune system strength. Here's the problem. As people age, poor sleep habits often creep in. Maybe it's falling asleep in front of the television, scrolling on your phone late at night, or drinking coffee too late in the day. Over time, these habits lead to chronic fatigue, inflammation, and a much higher risk of cognitive decline. If you've ever found yourself wide awake in the middle of the night, unable to get back to sleep, or if you wake up groggy even after what should have been a full night's rest, your body is probably missing out on the deep, restorative sleep it needs. And the consequences are serious. Research shows that poor sleep weakens your immune system, raises your risk of heart disease, and can accelerate memory problems as the years go by. Take Frank, age 71. For years, he believed that sleeping fewer hours was just normal for older adults. But then he noticed himself feeling tired during the day, struggling with brain fog, and even seeing changes in his blood pressure. His doctor explained that his body still needed those deep sleep cycles to recharge. So Frank made some small but powerful changes. He cut down on late-night screen time, avoided caffeine in the evenings, and created a calming bedtime routine. Within weeks, his energy improved, his focus was sharper, and he simply felt more like himself again. Here's a simple test. Ask yourself, do you wake up feeling refreshed and ready to go? Or do you feel sluggish, stiff, and in need of extra time just to get moving? If you're groggy most mornings, that's your body telling you your sleep isn't doing its job. And if you want to stay healthy and sharp, now is the time to fix it. Mistake #4, avoiding strength and balance training. One of the biggest misconceptions people over 60 have is thinking that walking alone is enough exercise. Walking is wonderful for your heart and mobility, but it simply doesn't give your body everything it needs. Without some form of strength and balance training, you're leaving yourself vulnerable to muscle loss, poor posture, and a higher risk of falling. Mistake #4, avoiding strength and balance training. Here's the hard truth. As we get older, our muscles naturally lose strength, our balance declines, and our risk of falling increases unless we actively fight back. And most people don't realize that falls are actually the #1 cause of injury in older adults. Even worse, most falls don't happen because someone's legs are too weak to walk. They happen because the stabilizing muscles, the ones that keep you steady when you misstep, are no longer being trained. That's exactly what happened to Edward, age 74. He thought his daily walks were enough to keep him strong, but one afternoon, he misjudged a step, lost his balance, and took a nasty fall. Thankfully, he didn't break any bones, but the experience shook his confidence. His doctor explained that his problem wasn't walking, it was the lack of balance and stability training. So Edward started small. He began with gentle bodyweight exercises, a few resistance band workouts, some core strengthening moves, and simple balance drills, like standing on one foot while holding onto a counter. Within a few weeks, he noticed a dramatic change. He felt steadier on his feet, more confident moving around, and less afraid of falling. And here's the important part. Strength training doesn't mean you have to lift heavy weights at the gym. It can be as simple as squats while holding onto a chair, leg raises, resistance band pulls, or even practicing shifting your weight from one side to the other. The key is to challenge your muscles and your balance so your body stays strong, coordinated, and resilient. Want to test your balance right now? Stand next to a sturdy counter, lift one foot just a few inches off the ground, and see if you can hold that position for at least 10 seconds. If you struggle or feel wobbly, that's your body telling you your balance needs more attention. And the sooner you start working on it, the more stability and independence you'll protect for the years ahead. If you've been relying only on walking, it's time to shift your focus. Walking is great for your heart, but it's not enough to preserve strength, coordination, and fall prevention. Strength and balance training are your foundation, and ignoring them after 60 is one of the fastest ways to lose mobility. If you're still with me and finding these insights valuable, drop the number 4 in the comments so I know you're here. Now, let's move to the last one, which almost nobody talks about, but it's one of the sneakiest mistakes you might be making every single day. Mistake #5: ignoring hydration and dehydrating your body. One of the most overlooked health risks after 60 is dehydration, and here's why it's so dangerous. As you age, your body's natural thirst signals weaken. That means you can already be dehydrated long before you actually feel thirsty. Chronic dehydration doesn't just make you feel tired, it affects nearly every system in your body. It can lead to stiff joints, constipation, kidney strain, confusion, dizziness, and even an increased risk of falls. Think about that for a moment. Something as simple as not drinking enough water can directly raise your chances of tripping, stumbling, and ending up with a serious injury. And dehydration is sneaky. Most people assume they're drinking enough just because they sip coffee in the morning or have a glass of something with meals. But here's the reality. Coffee and many teas are diuretics, which actually cause your body to lose water. By the time you feel thirsty, your body is already behind on hydration. Take Walter, for example. He's 76 and thought he was doing fine because he had coffee every morning and a small glass of water with lunch or dinner. But over time, he started noticing headaches, muscle cramps, and occasional dizziness when standing up. His doctor explained that he wasn't truly hydrating his body. Once Walter started drinking a full glass of water first thing in the morning and kept a bottle nearby to sip throughout the day, everything changed. Within a few weeks, he had more energy, his digestion improved, his joints felt less stiff, and even his focus was sharper. Here's a quick way to check yourself. Pinch the skin on the back of your hand and hold it for a second. If the skin snaps back immediately, you're likely hydrated. But if it takes a moment to return to normal, that's a clear sign your body needs more fluids. So don't wait until you're thirsty by then. It's already too late. Aim to drink water steadily throughout the day, not all at once. And remember, hydration isn't optional. It's one of the simplest, most powerful ways to protect your health, mobility, and overall well-being as you age. Final thoughts. So let's recap. Sitting too much, ignoring protein, neglecting sleep, skipping strength and balance training, and not staying hydrated. These are the 5 habits that silently chip away at your health after 65. Each one may not seem like a big deal on its own, but together, they can drastically affect how you move, how you feel, and how long you stay independent. The good news? It's never too late to make changes. Small, consistent adjustments in your daily routine can add up to huge improvements in your energy, your stability, and your long-term health. If this video gave you something to think about, let me know in the comments. Type the number 5 if you're committed to breaking at least one of these habits starting today. And don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss future videos. I've got plenty more coming to help you stay stronger, healthier, and happier at every stage of life. Final thoughts. As we wrap up today's video, I want you to take a moment to think about these 5 common mistakes. If you've been doing any of them, don't be discouraged. It's never too late to make a change. The beautiful thing about your body, even after 50, 60, or 70, is that it's incredibly resilient. With the right habits, you can strengthen it, protect it, and in many cases even reverse some of the damage that's already been done. Think about it this way: breaking up long stretches of sitting, eating more protein to protect your muscles, prioritizing quality sleep, adding strength and balance training, and staying consistently hydrated, these aren't huge, complicated changes. They're small daily choices that, over time, add up to something powerful. Each decision you make moves you closer to a healthier, stronger, and more independent future. And remember, health isn't just about avoiding illness. It's about having the strength to carry your groceries, the balance to walk confidently without fear of falling, the energy to enjoy time with family and friends, and the clarity of mind to keep learning and experiencing life. Every single positive change you make today is an investment in the years ahead. So let me ask you, out of the 5 areas we talked about, which one do you feel you need to focus on the most right now? Have you noticed changes in your strength, your energy, or your sleep? Maybe it's hydration, or maybe it's balance and stability. Whatever it is, I'd love to hear your thoughts. Leave a comment below and share one thing you learned today and how you plan to put it into practice in your daily routine. Your feedback is not only valuable, it inspires us to keep creating helpful content. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like, subscribe to the channel, and share it with someone who could benefit. Your support means the world to us, and it helps us continue bringing you content designed to keep you healthier, stronger, and more confident at every stage of life. Thanks so much for watching, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Until then, take care of yourself, stay consistent, and keep moving forward. Your future self will thank you.